Hi guys, if you saw our previous post, we updated you on what we're driving now that we have 6 kids. So we ended up going with a Nissan NV 3500. We really like the car. I wanted to update you a little bit and give you some tips for driving a large car safely, because that is a big concern when you're driving a vehicle that's this large. You always hear stories about kids being backed over in the driveway, and that's especially scary in a car that's this big and you don't quite have the visibility that you do in a lot of cars. So just a few quick tips. First of all, we ended up having Rosen put a backup camera in this car for us, and that has made all the difference in the world. I feel so much safer driving it because we can actually see if there's a child behind us. It's nice for parking too, because we can tell if there's a car there, but primarily I was concerned with making sure that there were no kids behind me when we were going there. There's also backup sensors in the car now, so it beeps if we get too close to anything else, so that's mostly for a vehicle or for a building or anything like that if we're backing into it. The nice thing too that I have really loved that you wouldn't normally consider a safety feature is we've got TVs in the car now. My kids love it. It keeps them occupied in car trips, but what's great for me is if I'm driving, I don't have to be distracted by them because they are occupied. They're tied up watching their movie. They even play video games on the TVs back here. And I don't have to worry about being distracted while I'm driving and having kids trying to ask me questions or talk to me while I'm focused on driving this enormous vehicle. So I am getting used to driving it. It's taking a little bit of adjustment, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be, and the extra safety features make it really nice. So I'll just show you around a little bit and show you a few of the safety features that really make it easier to drive for me. So here we've got the backup camera. It's done by EchoMaster by Rosen. It's adjustable, so we can actually switch the angle that it's pointed at. Right now we've got it kind of pointed downward because I want to make sure we're catching any little people behind the van. If you wanted to point more towards any cars behind you, you can kind of point it out a little bit more. These are the sensors, so if anything gets too close to those, they will start to beep at me in the car, and it's great for knowing what's behind you and kind of giving you a clue as you're backing up and parking into something what you're getting close to. Something I really like. So we've got the Rosen camera in the back, and it will, every time I turn my car on, a little camera screen pops up in my mirror. It's really cool actually, because when you turn the car off, you can't tell that the screen is there, but half of the rear view mirror pops up as a camera. So it gives me two places. I've got the big screen down below in my dash, and then it gives me another place up high. So if anybody comes behind my car, I'm definitely going to see them. It makes it a lot safer for driving because I don't totally trust myself with a big giant car. There's just too many blind spots, and having all these extra cameras and screens that you can see everybody makes it so much safer. Here's a shot through the back. You can see here's the TV cameras. My kids love them because it's built-in entertainment. They have a blast. They always actually beg to go places now because they can watch their favorite movies or play video games, and they're not distracting me while I'm driving. But you'll notice looking back here, you've got no visibility. My son is actually still behind this van doing jumping jacks, and there's no way that I would be able to see him if I didn't know he was there. Even with the TVs popped up, those headrests just get in the way, and the seats are really tall. You don't have much visibility out the side. And this is just a really tall vehicle, so there's no way that you have any visibility. And I firmly think, I'm going on about, what, 4 or 5 months now driving a full-size van, and I definitely think that any vehicle this big, it just has to have a backup camera. There's no way that it's safe without it. We've been really happy with the camera from Rosen. It's given us a great picture, great visibility, and it just makes the car feel a lot safer. Head out, and everybody is occupied. We've got one up here playing video games. Are you winning? Hmm? Are you winning?
Yeah.
So he's occupied. He's watching the video games be played because that's just as exciting. And we have princess movies playing in the back. You like the princess movies?
Yeah.
So I don't have to listen to anybody complaining except for the baby, and we'll have to deal with her later. But everybody's happy and occupied, and we can drive without being distracted, so it's great. Shot from the back, you can see that each screen is playing something different, which is really great when you've got multiple kids because nobody can ever agree on what they want to do. So in the back we've got the princess movies going on, and the sound for that is coming through the headphones. And in the front, Rosen has actually built some video games into the system, and my kids like that, the older kids like that better than most of the movies. So they're up there playing video games and staying perfectly occupied, and my kids don't complain on short trips, long trips. They're just happy to be in the car and be occupied, and they don't distract me while I'm driving.